Hi there everyone, welcome back to another video of Mike's Geek Corner with your host, Mike Quevedo. And with this being Halloween, why not do a review of the Monster of Frankenstein trade paperback published by Marvel in 2015. And this has the issues of Monster of Frankenstein number 1 through 18, Giant Size Werewolf number 2, Marvel Team-Ups number 36 through 37, and also has material from Monsters Unleashed numbers 2 and 4 through 10, and Legion of Monsters number 1. Now, let us get a little bit into how Marvel decided back then to do an ongoing series on Frankenstein. And it all began as when the Comics Code Authority began to loosen up a little bit in the 1970s as far as what the content what type of content could be featured as related to, horror elements, the supernatural. And so titles like Tomb of Dracula, Ghost Rider, and Werewolf by Night were launched to pretty solid success. And so it felt natural that a popular property like Frankenstein would follow next in being adapted into comic book format. So now Mary Shelley's story is adapted in the first 4 issues as the great-grandson of Captain Robert Walton IV, as he recounts the incidents in Shelley's novel as it was told to him by his great-grandfather while leading an expedition into the Antarctic, where the creature created by Victor Frankenstein is discovered in suspended animation after 4 decades. The monster gets unfrozen, and after the crew's ship crashes into an iceberg, which leads to the eventual demise of the crew, including Walton and his son, the creature discovers that a descendant of Victor Frankenstein is living in Ingolstadt, and so he decides to embark in a quest of revenge for him being created. And along the way, he finds himself in such affairs that involve a mysterious Scandinavian woman who was being persecuted by the townsfolk, including her own father. Then in Ingolstadt, he in Castle Frankenstein meets a madman who is conducting heinous experiments akin to those of Victor Frankenstein. And then in Transylvania, he unknowingly helps revive Count Dracula, and finally gets to meet this descendant of Victor Frankenstein named Vincent Frankenstein, along with his monstrous hunchback assistant named Ivan. And all of it leads to the monster eventually being frozen once again, and then gets to be revived in modern times, those being the 1970s. And then he finds himself entangled in such endeavors that involve misshapen miscreants who are engaging in vengeful acts. He does an uneasy team-up with Werewolf by Night, Jack Russell, as they take on a cult of Baal. And finally, an unlikely alliance with Spidey against the Man-Wolf. So now, I think the main highlight of the series is the artist. As one of my this has a canon of my favorite comic book artists, Bronze Age comic book artists: Mike Ploog, John Buscema, Bel Majerick, Don Perlin. Mike Ploog, he does some of the early issues of the series. His style is very much that of it's kind of like Will Eisner mixed with Al Feldstein from EC Comics fame, and then John Buscema, he's a legendary Marvel Comics artist. There's nothing he can't draw. Buscema, Johnny, Big John, as he was called. To many, he's most famous for having done Conan. Others he did the Adventures run. But his style is very classic. It's very much you can tell his influence are the comic strip, the classic comic strip artists like Hal Foster, Bern Hogarth, Alex Raymond, all those classic ones. And there's also Bal Majerick. His style reminds me, he's kind of like Bernie Wrightson's, you know, kind of very macabre, kind of creepy by him also. Sometimes the series kind of loses track as far as, you know, story-wise, but the artists do such a fantastic job with their visuals that they manage to keep you hooked in, regardless of these, you know, story setbacks. And so I recommend it. I recommend it if you're a fan of the Universal and Hammer Frankenstein films. If you're a fan of the EC Comics, you know, like Tales from the Crypt and all that good stuff. Say also the DC Comics original Swamp Thing run from Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson, and Tomb of Dracula, Werewolf by Night, etc. Then definitely go for this. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. Now, so it should be available on Amazon, eBay, or Barnes & Noble. So go get it. And with that, I say to you all, Happy Halloween. Be sure you leave your comments below, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.